Struggling with debt? Bills, loans, credit cards? Need a way out? Knock your debt out with Debt KO. Free, impartial advice on all your debt matters.
I want your views on the big potential fight coming up.
Potential fight coming up? Which one are you
going to
the
fight.
Which one? Eddie and Frank's lunch? which one? No, which fight?
Well, I hope that doesn't turn into a fight.
Fury AJ? Or?
No.
Which one?
Logan Paul against Floyd Mayweather.
I know. So you threw this one in the curveball.
What?
I honestly, yeah, I had to, because my son Nicky, he's 12, right, and Nick loves KSI, right. He's a YouTuber. He loves his YouTube stuff, and you know, like lots of kids do. So I had to, and I'm still going to get this money back off Eddie. I had to buy for what was it, a tenner? It was reduced, wasn't it? So actually, Eddie, if you're listening, I want that tenner back, right? I had to buy the last that thing, and I'm also now, I'm also saying at the time I think it was a good thing. A lot of young eyeballs on the sport of boxing, and to be fair, KSI actually trained pretty hard, and you know, and they got their pro license. They took proper gloves. So I thought, as a you know, to give them the young guys, they've got pro license and they had a fight. Okay, fair enough. Now you're taking a fucking piss, right? Now you are taking, now you are having me on, right? And I thought, but it is a wind up. It is a wind up. I'm sure it's a wind up, and there's some marketing campaign on how many hits this stupid story can get, because there is. I mean, that is like, you know, it's like, how do you, it's like a virgin competing with, you know, a porn star, you know. Stop throwing weird ones out at you now. It's like a kid at school who can paint a smiley, saying he can do the Mona Lisa next. You're talking about Floyd Mayweather, right? Logan, whatever your bloody name is, right? Stick to your YouTube fairies, right? And just forget this. Forget the word boxing, right? You made a lot of money. Is it the same? Is it the same? He's got a stupid brother as well. Is it the same fella who fought KSI?
Correct.
So it's not that the idiot brother. He's got one brother who's even more stupid than him.
Jake Paul.
Yeah. I'd love to fight him. Right? I'd love to fight him. I'd love to fight him with no gloves. Right? So that for me is done. You know, get me that fight, Kugan. You know, if you ever interview him, tell him there's a man running around London looking for you. Right? That fella just deserves a slap. But this. I mean, he just lost to KSI, didn't he? Look, he actually lost the fight, didn't he? So he's lost his first pro fight, right? Let's get this right. He's lost his first pro fight, and he's calling out, arguably, because there's a lot of arguments, you know, you can talk about a lot of different fighters, Ali, of course, Ray Robinson, but arguably one of the greatest fighters of all time. Forget all the shit around him. Arguably,
of our generation, definitely.
Yeah. And actually, I'm not talking about entertainment-wise. As a boxer, you'd have to say of all time. So he's done a bit of boxercise down the gym, and you've got to be fucking. But I mean, you know, it's a wind-up. So I don't know why we're talking about it. If that happens, right? I mean. Seriously, I'd watch Tyson versus Jones because I was a big fan of both. Right? I don't think it's right, but let them do it. Okay, fair enough. They can both fight. They could both fight. We all know that. They're legends. You're now talking about this oddbod who's been cooped up in some bedroom, become a multi-millionaire because he's got a bunch of underage kid fans, right, who thinks he can fight. Fair enough, mate, right? Come down the road, get on the cobblers, and let's have a tear up. But don't call out the greatest fighter of all time in a boxing ring. I mean, McGregor, you can say what you want about Conor McGregor, but he can fight, right? This guy, I think he got bullied at high school, then he became a YouTuber, and now suddenly he thinks he's King Kong. You know, it's insane, absolutely insane. But would you buy the ticket for that? That's the question. No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't even bother. That one there is so bad that nobody would say, I'll watch it, I'll pay the tenner.
No,
I'll pay the tenner just... But you would not buy it.
No, you would
not. No, you would. I wouldn't buy it.
You would buy it. I wouldn't be interested. Just out of curiosity, you would buy it.
I must admit, when I heard McGregor Mayweather, I said, I ain't watching that shit. Right? I ain't watching that shit. I ended up buying it. Right? I had to buy KSI because of my son. But this one, KUGAN, this is so bizarre. Like, it's literally like, it's not even funny. It's like me saying I'm going to play in a Premier League match. No, it's not, because it's 1 against 1. You know, Premier League got 10 people to protect you. He's got no. The only person that protect him is the ref. I don't know what you want me to say. I mean, and by the way, Floyd, if you let him stand more than, you have to reach him. If you let him stand more than 8 seconds, right? It's bollocks. We all know it's bollocks, right? If you've ever stood in a ring with a pro, right? I used to fight. I was shit, right? I remember I had a pro trainer. He was crap as a pro as well, by the way. He wasn't a good pro. I was shit. I was, you know, half decent on the pavement, but I was crap in a ring. Right? I couldn't touch him. Right, this was a guy who had a negative record as a pro. So you talk about Floyd Mayweather. If Floyd wants him to look like Banana Man skating on ice in 3 seconds, he can do it. So everything else is rubbish, right? And you know, but it's a wind-up, Cook. Let's not all fall for this. It's a wind-up. What do you know? You clearly know something because you're sitting there cool as ice.
I'm waiting for it to be announced.
But has someone actually spoken positively about this fight? Because I honestly, I'm normally expecting most things of, you know, I've got this curveball, that curveball, but that you've probably said at the end of the conversation.
I know, it's the most sensational 5 minutes of the interview.
Sorry if I woke you up. But the whole thing, own clip, this one. But the whole thing is mad, isn't it?
It is mad.
But it's so mad that I haven't actually opened one article because I don't believe it. It's like you telling me the aliens are going to come down tomorrow. In fact, there's more chance of that than him landing leather on Mayweather with both arms behind his back. He ain't going to touch him. You know, this is the man who invented the shoulder as a third hand. You know, this is you know, something, you know. And by the way, ask Ricky. Floyd can bang as well. So you know, if he knocks out Ricky Hatton, you're telling me he can't. If he lands one punch on what's his Logan, whatever, Paul. Right? This Paul. If he lands one punch on Paul's face, right? Or his body, even worse to the body, he's not going to stand up. So you know, but I just, you know, that's why it's come on.
All right. Okay. Well, look, it is a talking point.
it's
how much, whatever there is behind it, we don't know. Probably not a lot, but
no, it can't be nothing behind it.
Don't rule out anything. Don't rule out anything.
No, I just that one, man. Sorry if I went on a rant, but that one, that's what gets under my skin. Those two, they both get under my skin. Something funny about them. They probably say the same about me. So maybe
everyone's
it's a better fight, by the way. A bit old for that.
Struggling with debt? Bills, loans, credit cards. Need a way out? Knock your debt out with Debt KO. Free, impartial advice on all your debt matters.